I'm going to show you how to get started unpacking after a move. In my last video, I showed you what to pack last and what to load last on the truck when you're moving. And in this video, we're going to be talking about what to unpack first in the new place. Hi, I'm Sheila, and here are my 7 tips for staying calm and organized while you're unpacking from your move. Tip number 1 is to open the boxes in the right rooms. So if you have a box of kitchen stuff, you don't want to open that in the bedroom or in the living room. You want to open it in the kitchen. And if you watched my video with the color coding moving system, chances are your boxes are already in the right spot. But if not, now's the time to get the boxes into the right room before you start opening them. Tip number 2 is to open up one box at a time. Using your scissors or a pair of box cutters, you're going to carefully open up just one box. The reason that you want to do one box is that you don't want to get overwhelmed by pulling everything out and having it all sitting there begging to be put away. By doing one box at a time, you are actually going to get it all done faster. Most importantly, you're going to feel more calm throughout the process. Take everything out of that box. Empty the box entirely, but only one box. Tip number 3 is that as soon as the box is empty, you flatten it and find a spot where you're going to keep all of your flattened boxes. So all of your flattened boxes are together. It's going to be easier to either recycle, donate, or sell the boxes if you do that, and it's also going to keep them out of the way as you're unpacking. When you see that pile of flattened boxes getting bigger and bigger, it means that you are getting closer and closer to being unpacked and settled and organized. While I'm at it, I usually take any packing paper that was in that box and lay it out flat, smooth it out. That way it takes up less room, so it's easier to recycle or donate it. And most importantly, it's going to keep things from getting lost in all of this crumpled up paper. You don't want stuff to get lost in boxes that are already unpacked. So that's why I recommend as soon as the box is empty, break down the box, flatten it, put it where all of your flattened boxes are going to go, and then take your paper and just take a second to smooth it out and make a pile of paper as you go. Tip number 4 is to declutter as you unpack. Now, if you watched my video about decluttering while you pack, you might think, wait a minute, I've already decluttered, I don't need this step. But inevitably, you will find that you have moved things to your new place and now you realize that you don't need them for whatever reason. Maybe you ran out of time at the end and you just had to hurry and pack everything without decluttering it. Maybe there are things that now on second thought, as you see them come out of the boxes, you realize, I don't really need this. So it's okay to be absolutely ruthless with the decluttering on either side of your move, but especially as you're unpacking, really ask yourself as you're taking things out of that box, do I want this to be a part of this new space or not? With 10 moves in 10 years, I think that in every single instance, I have donated things when I got to the new place. I realized I didn't really need to bring this with me, or this doesn't really fit in the new place. And then I was able to let it go when I got to the new space. I have found that the more that I do that, the more free I feel and the more organized and open my new space is. So as you have emptied the box and flattened it and put it to the side, now you have the pile of stuff that was in that box. If you saw my decluttering while packing video, which I will link right here, I recommended that when you're packing a box, everything in the pile that you're packing goes in one of 3 places. It either goes in a black garbage bag, a donation box, or you're packing it in a box to move. And it's a very similar process now that we're unpacking. Everything is going to go in one of 3 places. It's either going to go into a black bag for garbage, or into a donation box, or it's going to get put away in your new place. That's it. There might be some things that you're just not sure about. You're not sure if they're going to fit, you're not sure if you're going to keep them, and so it's okay to have a maybe box. But I would recommend not putting everything in the maybe box. Most things are either going to go in the garbage, in the donations, or they're going to get put away in your new place. And remember, just because you moved something to your new place with you doesn't mean that you have to keep it. So even though it came along for the ride, as you're unpacking it, if you have second thoughts about keeping it, it's okay to let it go now. This is a second opportunity for you to declutter. If you're enjoying this video so far, please hit that subscribe button so that I can reach more people and help more people. Thank you so much. Tip number 5 for unpacking is to prioritize the most lived-in spaces. For most people, that's going to be the kitchen. That's where a lot of our living takes place. People spend the most time in the kitchen. So the kitchen is a great place to start with unpacking. It's one that you really want to give priority because once you get your kitchen settled, you can use your own dishes again, you can start cooking again, and it's going to make it feel more settled once you know where everything is in the kitchen. You may have heard me say before that moving would be really easy if you were moving to an identical floor plan. If you were going from one house to another one that was laid out exactly the same size and the same way, then it would be super easy to move and unpack. You would just put stuff right back where it was before. But unfortunately, that's not the way that it works. Chances are really good that the layout of your new home is quite different from the layout of your previous place. So before you start opening your kitchen boxes, I recommend taking a step back and looking at the cabinets or any shelves or anything that you have in the kitchen, just looking at your storage space there and deciding what makes the most sense for me? What do I want to put where? You can even take little sticky notes or some painter's tape and then write on it what you want to put in each cabinet. I want my bowls to go here. I want my cups to go here. It gives you a minute to kind of visualize it before you start unpacking the boxes. And then once I have everything labeled, I stand back and look at it, and then I can rearrange the little sticky notes if I need to. But this keeps you from having to physically move the dishes multiple times. You might have to tweak and rearrange a little bit later on, but this at least gets you off to a good start where you kind of know where you want to put stuff before you actually put it away. The kitchen is the most important part of the house to do this with because it tends to have more cabinets than any other space in the house. This will give you an opportunity to decide how you want your kitchen laid out and what makes the most sense for you as far as what should go in each of the cabinets. Tip number 6 is to have one spot in your new home that is a place where people can go and relax and get away from the unpacking. Maybe this is your living room because living rooms typically don't have as many things as other rooms. They just typically have the large pieces of furniture, or maybe it's a bedroom, but just one place in your house that already feels set up and put together. It will help you to feel more settled if you have a space where you can go and relax, even if it's just a chair in one corner that you have kept clear of everything else. Just a place to go and sit down and take a breath when you need to take a little break from unpacking. Because this is quite a process and you're going to need a place where you can sit down and relax, get a drink of water, take a deep breath before you get up and start unpacking some more. Tip number 7 is that as you fill up your donation boxes, get them out of your house as soon as possible. Either put them in the back of your car or in your garage or someplace where they're going to be out of there. If you leave your boxes of donations all over the house, it gives your family members a chance to second guess you and then make you second guess yourself. I've already made a decision. I've already mentally let it go. And so it's best if it's out of sight, out of mind. It's in a box sealed up in the back of my car. That will keep it from getting mixed back in with the stuff that I'm wanting to keep and just becoming clutter in your new place. So I like to fill the donation boxes, tape them closed, mark them as donations, and get them into the back of my car as soon as possible as I am unpacking. There are a few things that I would suggest that you not do when you're unpacking. Don't go out and buy brand new containers until you have unpacked and decided what you want to put where. I know it's tempting when you're moving into a new place to go out and buy cute little baskets and boxes and things to organize, little fun bins. Instead of rushing out and buying containers, I recommend getting the boxes unpacked, getting your donations out of the house, and then looking at what's left and deciding where it makes the most sense to put containers and baskets. Don't worry, there will be time to go out and buy cute little containers and baskets and boxes if that's what you want to do in your new space. But it doesn't make a lot of sense to rush right out and buy them and then fill them up with stuff that you didn't want to keep anyway, because now you just have cute baskets that happen to be full of clutter. Don't start with sentimental items. This is not the time to sit down and go through photo albums and mementos and high school yearbooks. Just set that stuff to the side. We are focusing on the most lived-in places in your house, which again is probably your kitchen, maybe a bedroom, a living room, places like that. So it's okay to move the sentimental stuff out of the way. We're going to tackle that on another day. When you are unpacking, it's not the time to sort through all of your sentimental stuff. And the final thing that I would say don't do when you're unpacking is don't beat yourself up. Don't pull stuff out of a box and say, oh, I shouldn't have packed this. Why did I bring this with me? Why did I move this? Why am I not more organized? That doesn't do anybody any good. Again, we're doing one box at a time. We're going really slowly and we are being gentle with ourselves in the whole process. You have just gone through a major life change. It's one of the most stressful things that you'll ever do. There is a lot of upheaval in your life right now. This is not the time to beat yourself up and wonder why you didn't do it perfectly or why you did this or that, why you brought this or didn't bring that. When you move into a new space, you get to create a new version of yourself and you don't have to bring all of that extra emotional baggage into your place. You don't have to bring all of your old clutter into your new place. You get to start fresh. If you brought it into the new place and then you thought, oh, I don't know if I need this, I should have just donated it. It's okay. Now's the time to donate it. Let it go. Don't beat yourself up for packing it or ask yourself all these questions about why you've held on to so much stuff. This is a time to create a new life for yourself. It's not a time to beat yourself up for any decisions that you have made in your previous life. Moving is a fresh start, and that's my favorite thing about it. Now you might be thinking, these tips are great if I'm moving into a bigger house or a house that's about the same size, but Sheila, I'm moving into a place that's so small, I don't know how everything's going to fit. In this next video, I'm going to share with you the do's and don'ts of downsizing. I'll meet you there.